I am very fortunate to be at Howard University. I should say that first. I'm currently the interim chair of the Department of Political Science. I should also point out I got my Ph.D. here at Howard University under Ron Walters, Robert Smith, and Lorenzo Morris. They were my primary educators in the field of Black politics. So, examining political attitudes, political behavior, political thought that affects the Black condition is relevant for all of us who do Black politics. So this also includes political activities by those who are not in the African American community or the Black community, but nonetheless whose behavior, politics affects the Black communities. Hence, our interest in examining the rhetoric, the rise of the Trump phenomenon. It is a phenomenon. So Newschaser, the edited volume, is an attempt to capture some of the dynamics of that phenomenon. And the essays are critical of this phenomenon because of its implications on Black life. So our interest in Trump, in fact, the project was first conceptualized prior to Trump being elected president. So the book was initially conceived as a forewarning of what is potentially going to come with the Trump presidency. And I should point out as well that the essays, what we try to do with this volume is to include relatively new or junior scholars, some graduate students who are writing their dissertations at the time, that is, to give them an opportunity to do some political analysis of a phenomenon that's affecting their time. I think, in general sense, we should do more of this. Meaning, put together volumes that attempt to provide a better understanding of the Black experience. It's not just sociopolitical. You got economic dimensions, you got cultural dimensions, you got religious dimensions, educational dimensions, communication dimensions. All these things are part of providing us with the comprehensive understanding of the phenomena we are experiencing at the time, such is the case with Donald Trump as well. So, it's important to pull in younger scholars as well, to give them a leg up on doing analysis of what is happening to them at this time. The book probably can be updated and have stronger essays in it at this time because of what Trump portends for all of us. He is roundly recognized as a cult figure, a cult political figure. And all of us know, if any of us have just a passing understanding of cult phenomena, that all cults go over the cliff. There's no such thing as a cult coming out clean in the head. They all go over the cliff. Our problem with a cult that has captured one of the political parties is that Donald Trump wants to take all of us over the cliff. He wants to take not only that party over the cliff, he wants to take the nation over the cliff. The phrase itself, American demagogue, captures this phenomenon of Donald Trump. He's a demagogue. And he uses that for self-promotion. And it's very, very dangerous because he has captured a wide swath of the American public in the political arena, which means if he can capture state power, that's the danger of Donald Trump. When I say this phenomenon, this cult wants to take us all over the cliff, I mean capturing the machinery of state government. Because if you capture the machinery of the government, then you can control pretty much anything and do as he wanted us. He will become a dictator. He said day one, but we know won't be just day one. And I should. Donald Trump is more dangerous today than he was when we initially did this book. Some of the recent developments are very clear and dangerous and tragic for the nation. They are pointing their fingers at Black people from Haiti, but Black people nonetheless, being barbarians. stealing pets off of people's front lawns, taking them home, cutting them up and eating them. This is madness. So, I'm a child of the 80s in many respects, but I don't mean limited to the 80s. I mean, and probably like the late 80s through the early 90s. There was self-study. But I got my huge lift from being a graduate student here at Howard University studying under Ronald Walters and Robert Smith and Lorenzo Morris. Those were my primary teachers in Black politics. After that, I graduated, went off, and then I discovered, even though I had his books on my shelf, especially the Afrocentric idea. When I read Afrocentricity, it was as if dark became light, if I could just say it like that. Just that kind of contrast. And I already had the Afrocentric idea on my shelf. I'm sort of reading it, but not really studying it, which is a difference. There's a difference between reading and studying a book. Yeah. And it was my first year at UConn that the light came on for me. And I think what triggered it was I was in the bookstore browsing on campus. I'm in the African American section. I go there first all the time. And I see this book called Yoruba, an Afrocentric critique of European culture, thought, and behavior. I was like, which I normally do. I picked it up, start reading. I read about 10 pages just standing there in the store. And of course, I knew right away I had to buy it. So that compelled me to go back and read Dr. Sante's work. So I started with his work, the Afrocentricity, the Afrocentric idea, commit Afrocentricity and knowledge, and a whole bunch of his essays that he has written on the subject. And I also read, that's when I started to engage, even though I had them on my shelf, even I heard lectures by these same people. It's different from reading and works, right? Newschaser was an important book, and I would couple it with the title by Dr. Moefe Asante called Donald Trump, the American Demagogue. Because people, I still hear people talking about, thinking about Trump. This is alarming to me. So this is why these type of materials are important for people. And by the way, the essays in this book are accessible. They're not written in a manner, an academic-y kind of way where the average person cannot consume these materials. It's important for young people to study the contemporary times, the contemporary socio-political times, because the implications are profound, right? In my classes, I keep telling young people, if you are not engaged, nothing happens. But to be engaged in the right way is to become learning too, so you can be effective, right? And this is part of that process, part of you learning what's happening to you in this world, and when you have the information, you're in a position to respond. And so this is why a book like Newschaser is important. It provides ample information, critical information about a political force that desires to regain power. And so young people need to understand this and become participants in the political arena via their vote, which is currency. You put it on the table and you get something back. Treat it like currency. Be conscious that your vote is like currency. Be discriminatory in how you use it. Don't just give it away to anybody coming asking for it. You ask, well, what do we get back in return, policy-wise, public policy-wise? Win or lose, we're going to have a mess, tragically, for the country because of Donald Trump. And if he wins, it's worse because he'll be empowered. But if he loses, the chaos machine has already been cranked up. And the stuff that's happening right now in the nation, people try to fix the results before the results come in. Meaning the Trumpers are in position in the states, the various states. They try to create rules to sway the election to Donald Trump. That's in the area of voter suppression. This is why books like this are important as well. And again, you can have additions because You think about practices like gerrymandering, drawing in congressional districts to elect people. This is where the conservatives have played the long game. They've been at it for 30 years, winning city councils, winning county commissions, winning state legislatures. And when you win a state legislature, you're empowered to control how things evolve in that state politically. And this is what they've done. They're in these positions, and they're trying now to rewrite rules. They're only a month and a half away from the election because they're afraid that they can't get over the hump. So they want to knock out, right, to purge people from the roles. That's primarily us, meaning black folk, Latino folk. The Attorney General of Texas, the state of Texas, has been sending goon squads, knocking down doors of elderly Latino women who are engaged in voter education projects, knocking down their doors, doing searches for so-called materials that would indicate that they're engaged in some voter fraud activities. Right? It's intimidation. Newschaser is an especially for the times that we're in right now. Analyses of Donald Trump are important to consume. If you don't know about Donald Trump, Newschaser is an excellent book to begin with. It's a comprehensive collection of essays that examines Donald Trump from various angles. So you might get just one angle on understanding this phenomenon that's upon us, still upon us. You'll get multiple angles to appreciate the dynamics of this phenomenon affecting us.